Hello friends, Adam here with FED. So I made a joke about this in that what your favorite Fire Emblem says about you video, where I said Thracia fans will tell you that Thracia 776 isn't that hard if you know what you're doing. And I feel like that's something that I've heard thrown around. You hear that thrown around with a lot of video games, really, and just like a lot of just skill-based things in general. If you know how to do it or if you know what you're doing, it's easy. But duh, like, I really want to talk about why that doesn't make it doesn't make a game easy as far as Fire Emblem goes, and why that is really just kind of discouraging to new players. So recently, I had someone in my Discord come to me and say, Sacred Stones is actually really hard, and I thought he's like, this is like my second Fire Emblem game after Three Houses. Everyone told me it was really easy and that would be a good place for me to go. So I'm playing it, and it's kicking my butt. And to that I say, yeah, it's a strategy game. Strategy games are generally relatively more difficult than, say, as far for like the average person than like playing, your Super Mario Brothers or your Legend of Zeldas. It's just like a different kind of game that if you're not familiar with the genre, it's going to be difficult for you. But other people in the Discord were like, well, it's easy. Don't you know how to play the game? Duh, you're stupid. Or, well, if you know what you're doing, it's not that bad. Well, the guy doesn't know what he's doing. So, and this also kind of goes into the whole difficulty discussion in Fire Emblem, where there's this weird stigma in the community from like playing on the easiest difficulty. It means like you're bad or something, or you're a noob. Where it's like they included it for a reason. Strategy games are difficult. They're hard. And people should be able to play on whatever difficulty they want without feeling like a dummy. And I don't think many people really struggle with this issue. Me as like a content creator on YouTube and streaming the stuff I play, I feel pressure to play on the hardest difficulty just because I know there are people that are going to be turned off by the fact that I'm not playing on maddening or I'm not playing on hard or depending on the game. And there's going to be some people that are like, well, why should I even watch you if you can't play the hardest difficulty? So I feel some pressure there as a content creator to do that. But that doesn't mean the average person playing the game should feel bad for playing on normal or easy. So that's something that I think I don't know how that should change in our community, but I feel like it needs to. I think it's kind of dumb that people feel the need to point out to people when a game is quote-unquote easy. It just makes people feel bad, So I've even made tier lists of the games talking about what the easiest Fire Emblem game or whatever else, or the best one to start with, and I want to talk about why I think some games are easier than others. And when I say easier, and I really just mean on like a blind playthrough, because again, if you know exactly what you're doing, or if you're using a guide, it takes away all of the almost all the difficulty. Because Fire Emblem isn't execution based. It's all, very slow, very methodical. You can take your time. There's no rush. It's not like you're playing, Mega Man X, where you are having to make reactions and split-second reactions, move around, or a fighting game, where you're having to read your opponent and react to their movements and things like that. You have all the time in the world to analyze, to read into the opponent's movement, to check stats, to do math before you make a move, check probabilities. There's literally no rush. There's no execution required. All you have to do is be able to move around and press an A button and select the right menu option under literally no pressure of time. So all of the struggle in Fire Emblem comes from knowledge and your ability to apply that knowledge, rather than like skill-based gameplay that you can get good at just by like practicing. So knowledge being the key means your blind playthrough is probably going to be kind of rough compared to subsequent playthroughs. And a lot of these Fire Emblem fans that say Fire Emblem is easy, or that say that Sacred Stones is the easiest game of the series, or say that three houses on hard mode is baby mode, it's not even like difficult or anything, doesn't challenge me at all. Those are people who've probably played a bunch of Fire Emblem, and also there are people who have probably already played those games, so they already know what's going on. They know what to prepare for. They know which characters to use. They know when there's going to be some, BS reinforcements that show up that you're not going to be, that a blind player wouldn't be ready for. And that's frustrating. So when I think about what makes a Fire Emblem easy on the blind playthrough, I think of, like, does it have a lot of, like, mean moments on maps? When I say mean moments, like, on the developer's part on maps, like, are there, like, surprise reinforcements that get you? Are there weird mechanics, like a berserk staff, that you may not be prepared for? Is the boss just, like, stupid terrifying, and if you don't have like the right unit set up to kill them, can you, like, take it down reliably, kind of stuff. So I think back on, like, 3C776 is a game that a lot of people will say is one of the harder games in the series, but then there's always those few people that chime in and say, no, 3C is easy if you know what you're doing. And Thracia is full of some of the meanest moments in Fire Emblem, with ambush reinforcements that move on the same turn they appear. So let's call those ambush spawns or ambush reinforcements. There are sleep staves, poison is all over the place, poison weapons, berserk staves, silent staves, that all and all their effects are never ending unless you use a restore staff on the person. So it's not like it lasts for 4 turns like it does in Modern Fire Emblem. It's like lasts the entire map, which is just rough as heck sometimes. So you just put a unit to sleep at the beginning if you don't have a restore staff on you, or you just forgot to bring one, or you used your last use of it and it broke, you forgot to steal one earlier, you're just screwed. And that's hard. But if you can plan for that, and you have a bunch of warp staff users, you have a bunch of A rank staff users, you can just, like, literally the last, like, 6 chapters, maybe the last 4 or 5 chapters of Thracia just become a joke, But again, that's if you know what you're doing. Otherwise, it's stupid difficult and stupid hard on a blind playthrough. On the opposite side of the spectrum, on that, for me, I look at something like FE7's, Lin mode, and then FE7's Elowood normal mode. Very forgiving difficulty, gives you very powerful units to deal with any surprises and problems, and genuinely just, like, a good experience for a first-time playthrough. It's not going to be too frustrating. You might get surprised and lose a unit here or there, but for the most part, it's going to be a pretty, blind-friendly playthrough. And that's what I think, when people say Fire Emblem is easy, I think that's what they should be referring to. If they aren't, they're wrong. Because Fire Emblem isn't easy. That's a thing. Fire Emblem just isn't easy in general. So this is more ranty. I'm sorry for all the ranting. But I just kind of hate this this common thing thrown around that, oh, this game is easy because if you know what you're doing, it is. And yeah, that's true of literally, like, pretty much everything in life, Oh, the ACT is an easy test if you know all the answers. It's like, well, yeah, duh. The problem is preparing and getting prepared for the ACT and being ready for all the questions that are come your way, and maybe you won't know all the answers, therefore it's difficult. So it's like, come on. And the ACT is, I don't know if the ACT exists outside of the United States of America, out of the US. So the ACT is just like a test that measures a student's, like, overall aptitude in, like, math and English and, like, science in some cases, and their, like, writing ability. And colleges use the score you get from that to accept or deny you in a lot of cases. So I don't know if that exists outside of the U.S. I'd be interested to hear about that, actually. Anyways, please leave your thoughts in the comments. What makes Fire Emblem easy? What makes it not easy? Am I being stupid about this, or do you think this is an actual problem in the community? And next time someone asks you, oh, what game should I start with? Don't be mean. Don't tell them, oh, this game because it's easy. Just say this game because I like it, and play on normal mode so you can enjoy it, or play on easy mode so you can enjoy it for your first playthrough or something. Because with 3 houses and then whatever new game is going to come out again soon, there's going to be a lot of new players. So just be nice. Be nice to new players. Fire Emblem is difficult. Strategy games in general are hard. It's a whole different beast compared to playing just about anything else, besides maybe like your typical JRPG or something. That might be an easier transition than, say, someone coming from, Mario Odyssey being their favorite game or something, All right. Anyways, thanks for watching. Like the video, subscribe, and I'll catch you next time.